Hi, everyone. I'm Sherry Bales, and I am your Grow with Google small business partner. I'm here today to talk to you about getting your local business on Google search and maps. A little bit about me, maybe. There we go. Sherry Bales, my name. I have a Master of Arts in Communication from Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I established Hannah Communications in 1991 to help a small medical chain host the Senior Olympics of Michigan. So that was a lot of fun to start with. I'm a constant contact partner, a LinkedIn advisor, graduate of WMU, go Broncos, and a Grow with Google high impact partner. I've spent a lot of years in nonprofit. My parents owned our first business when I was 6, and I had my first entrepreneurial experience in the 8th grade selling blow pops out of my locker for a 400% profit. My parents owned a store, so I bought them at wholesale. So you could say I've been a part of a lot of startup businesses since then. And as a SCORE mentor and as a mentor with the South Haven Region Business Hub, one of the platforms I see people missing out the most on is a Google business profile. You may have heard it called Google Plus. Back in the day, they thought they could compete with Facebook. They couldn't. You may hear it called Google My Business, which was supposed to be the verb of just Google it, like Google My Business. Nobody really liked it, so now they unilaterally change it to what is a Google business profile. We will talk about the Google business profile in some depth and why you need one if you are a small business, particularly if you sell in a brick and mortar or provide services to someone. You qualify big for that. We'll talk about how to create a business profile, actually show you how to manage the business info. Okay, this is a living, breathing platform. Think of it as an Instagram for businesses. It literally can have posts, it can have calls to action, it can have photographs, it can have events, it can have your contact information. If your website is not really robust, this is a place that you can start and possibly really make a difference. And I'm going to show you some ways to do that. But first, let's watch it in action. This is Detroit, Michigan.
I am a mother of 2 children, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. And then one day I said, honey, I want to go back to work and start my own company. I became a licensed contractor and I started Detroit Voltage. It was a great opportunity for people to see a woman of color doing something that was totally outside of the box. I always ask my customers, what made you call me? And oftentimes they're telling me, oh, we reached out to you because of your business profile on Google. Having a Google profile has had a wonderful impact on my business because it puts me in front of new customers daily. It's a great way to have everything in one central location where the customer can see exactly what you do. Everything is just listed there easily for them to find. The reviews are there, and those reviews are worth their weight in gold. Customers get to understand what type of experience other customers have had with us. When the customer leaves a review, I always respond to the review. It's very important to let the customer know that you care about them. The insights that Google provides are great because I know what customers are interacting with us and from where. And so I know exactly how to speak to the customer because I know where they're coming from and what they will probably be looking for. One of the things that surprised me about having a profile on Google was the new customers that I was able to attract and interact with. There's a lot of traffic that comes from Google, so it's important to have a listing. My hopes and dreams for my business would definitely be being able to create opportunities for other people. It's an honor to be able to serve my community and to leave a legacy for my family as well.
All right, maybe a little bit schmoozy there, but you get the point that this is an important piece of marketing strategy for your business. So she basically showed you how she went from being a small business to having a Google profile, which in her words, brought more business in. So let's start at the beginning. What's a Google profile? If you noticed when they showed the picture of her page, her profile, it had several items on it that really will help people find you. Just take a look here. Your name, your photos and videos, and yes, these are important. Quick links, meaning call, get directions, share with someone. There's also a save link that you can choose there. And of course, my favorite, visit website. Location, if you're not a location business, like I'm working out of a home office, so I can hide that and just say I have a service area within certain boundaries or geographic areas. My hours are there and my phone number is there. Now, here's the payoff. This piece of land right here, this real estate, I call it, called Detroit Voltage, this is going to show up above just about any other search result for this company. If you type in the words Detroit Voltage, now I haven't done it, so I'm pontificating, but I believe this should be in the first or second listing as the Google business profile. That's how important it is. So you can see here, it shows up with their website right at the top, right? So we didn't replace the website. But on the right, we've got this little knowledge card that this is a repeat of the one that I just showed you. And so you're able to see at a glance the hours. You've got a place for reviews down in the bottom right-hand corner. They currently have a 3 out of 5 on Facebook. You also get reviews on Google, which I think are worth more. And it's free. Yeah, good point here that they're making free. This is from 2022 Economic Impact Report. I believe that the click on the button directions indicates a decision to visit your store. So while we're measuring things, and you'll see this at the end, you might be wondering, well, why do I care about people who clicked on directions? We'll talk about that because back in, I don't know, April, they just pick a random day to do this. They added Google Maps to the Google search. So now you have 2 vehicles where you could show up. Google search, which is type Google in the box and then type your query into the Google search box. Or let's say you're driving around and you type tacos near me into Google Maps. You are going to now be found with a Google business profile on both of those platforms. If you have an in-person address, it will show your location on a map right alongside of the Enthymum Suite and Symposia Detroit. So you now have presence on Google Maps and Google Search, and Google Search is the #1 search engine in the world. So we're looking now, if you look down at the bottom of the key card there, you'll see some pictures. There's a heart, says identified as Black owned, identifies as woman owned. These are new options that Google has come up with because people have been asking. So if they're doing a search called electrician near me, woman owned business, Detroit Voltage being identified as such under electrician and identifies as woman owned could be in their top search results. This Google business profile also works on laptops, tablets, mobile phones. You can edit from there if you are a manager on the go and you use your devices to do that. Perfectly easy to edit from there. To edit your page, if you know you have one and you already claimed it, you just type your business name into the Google search box here that you see in the beginning, and it will just pop right up. Okay, so why do I need a Google business profile? Well, if you don't have one, you have 0 chance of showing up unless it's a very specific search. And that search is related to information contained on your website or your social media. If, however, you have a Google business profile, you have great chances of showing up. And let me give you 2 quick stories. One is a brew pub with 2 locations. They were all about Yelp. Yelp this, Yelp that. We want TripAdvisor. We want this, we want that. And I said, well, do you have a Google profile? Yeah, but we don't need that. We don't use it. And I said, let me just manage it for 3 months and let's see what happens. So at the end of 3 months, we pulled the data from everything because we need to know if it's working. We pulled the Yelp data, and each location had between 3,000 and 3,500 clicks or visits or interactions, engagements, we'll call them. And they were really excited about that until I showed them The Google business profiles had 21 and 26,000 interactions in the same period of time. So they were even spending money on Yelp to take their logos off and add the URLs, and $16 a month, I think. And yet the Google business profile, the free Google business profile, was getting them more traffic. So if you don't have one, we're going to tell you how to get one. And you start with google.com/business. They're going to ask you to name your business, make it exactly as it appears on your LLC, including LLC if that's what appears. You can take it off later. Make sure your address is identical down to the number of periods in street, road, suite. Make sure they're all spelled exactly the same everywhere you go. And that will help you also to get found by Google, because if I'm looking for Detroit Voltage on Monroe Road in Detroit, Michigan, and they're actually on Monroe Street, it looks like, Google may be confused and say, well, I don't think that's it. So I'm just going to give you something else. So really, really important. But to get this profile, you go to google.com/business, and then you can add through maps. You can add through the 3-line icon in the left menu, or you can right click on the map. So it's going to ask you to put in the name of your business and then hit next. And then it's going to want the address of your business, then click next. Then you have a choice of clicking on the map and adding your business to the map, or just waiting until later. And it's really important to keep in mind that all these things are editable. I think getting your name first and correct, and your address, and that is really important, but we can add you to the map later. So if that looks like too many steps for starters, you don't have to do it now. You can always go back. All right, if you've got one already, see those 9 little boxes up in the corner? Yeah, thanks, Google. You just took them away. Right there next to the sign in button. You also can reach your Google business profile there. But if not, sign in to your Google account. If you don't have a Gmail, then you probably don't have a Google account. If you have a Gmail of some sort, then you have a Google account. If you have a business Gmail, use that. If you have a not Gmail for your business, still need a Google business profile or Google account so that you can play in the Google sandbox with Google Ads, Google business profiles, etc. So signing into your Google account, pretty straightforward. Here's where you put your name and business category. There's only like 4 business categories, let's be honest. Yours isn't going to be there for the most part. It's okay. Just pick something as close as you can and move on. Again, if there's an opportunity to change it later, we will. So we have a pressure washing business, pressure washing company, and a trash bin cleaning company. And when you type in pressure washing, you're being found by house cleaning. So people have house cleaning who provide pressure washing services. And I'm like, that's not really it. But then you think about it, you go, well, I guess if I want to be found for pressure washing, I ought to put house cleaning in. So it's kind of a game with that actual business category. And they know we don't like it. So there's not much we can do. Okay, location. Do you have a storefront? If you do, yes, add that location. Again, identical. I cannot stress it enough. Identical everywhere you go. If you do not want to add a location that customers can visit, i.e. me, home-based business, then just click no, I do not. And if you do, you're going to enter your address. I can skim through this. Here's how you do the service area. If you click no, it's going to ask you at the next step, well, then tell me what areas you serve. And perhaps it's the entire United States. Perhaps it's the entire world. I would probably start with the United States because there are some new spam can rules. Like I just read, there's a new rule for advertising in Turkey. This isn't advertising, and you will see visitors from other countries because they've not changed their IP address and they're still using their phones from China. But if you have a demographic area, and for some of my clients, it's really specific. It's 8 miles outside of Austin. That's it, 8-mile radius. That's all they want. So you have the ability to choose by zip code or by town or by region. Next step, when you hit next, will be to add your phone number. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. I really don't, but I mean, there are people who don't show this publicly. You can again hide this later on. You want to make sure that your website URL contains an S, HTTPS, or Google is just going to shrug its shoulders at you and go, come back when you're certified, basically safe certified for being on the web. If you don't have a website, you can click that box right there and you won't be punished. You can also just skip this, as I said. Next is verification. Now, this is interesting. Some people get in like, boom, right after they try. Some people that I've worked with, because I'm a Google partner and I have a ton of accounts that I manage, get verified on the spot. Typically, I will tell you that it takes a business phone. You have to be right there with your business phone when you go to do this. And they'll send you a code and you'll answer the code and then you'll come back here and you'll re-log in and eventually you'll have a verified Google business page. You can also be verified by a text. I've never seen one by email. Video is becoming more popular because they're using it for home-based businesses. So if you have a massage therapy business in your home and you have your I don't know what it's called, not theater, your treatment room, they may ask you to go around the treatment room with video and they'll help you live and take video of your work area, your business cards, your computer setup, if you have signage somewhere. And I always tell clients, hey, make a sign with your business name on it, put it in your front window, take a picture of that. I mean, it works. So, and then finally is my postcard. And you might get a postcard between 5 and 7 days. Postcard is a little generous. It's a flippy 2-piece of paper glued together thing. It's probably 5 by 7. But it does say Google on it very clearly. It gets thrown away because people think it's trash, but it's really not. You still will need to enter your mailing address, your business mailing address, in order to verify. But remember, we're going to hide that out later. So make sure you do that. And then while you're waiting, you can play with all these buttons in here. And this is what's called the dashboard. And you can plainly see here your business is not visible to customers. And they'll let you know when you're verified, or you'll see this get verified if you haven't done the previous steps. And you don't have to do them all the way through. You can skip, kind of save, and then come back to it. So while you're waiting for verification, you get to play with all these buttons, and that's known as how to manage your Google. Oops, sorry, got to the wrong page. How to manage your Google business info. I'm checking time because I want to have time for questions. All right, so remember I said if you just search for your business name, you'll see that little graphics card on the right and all those little tools that were just tiny. We're going to go through the majority of those. The big ones are edit profile, because that's where you can put your name, address, hours, services, identifiers like small business owned or woman owned. The second one will be services or products. If you sell a service like me, you have an extensive list of services. And I'll show you my page towards the end. That's going to be important. The part that's hidden is also going to be important. And I'll show you that when they get there, because I can't click live because this isn't live. But it's called add update. And that's exactly what you're doing on social media, but with a built-in bonus call to action. And our call to action, just refresher, I talk about this a lot in other workshops. Our call to action is, what is it that we want the person reading our stuff to do? And typically, we want to drive them, send them to our website. If we're selling a product or we're making a post about ABC widgets, then we want to send them to our website, to the ABC widgets shopping page. The sending them to the home page is kind of wasting effort. So here's an example. If I go and do a Google search for very specific search, now lots of keywords, lots of search terms, Nike size 10, women's pickleball shoes, red, near me. And we've all done a similar search to that for a product or service that we're looking for. And Nike drops me on the home page, I'm probably not going to look any further. Now, if Nike takes me to pickleball page and they might not have red included in the search, but they have pickleball shoes, size 10, and they're at the local Dick's Sporting Goods, then it's a win. But otherwise, I mean, it's really going to depend on what I have typed into my website on how I'm going to be found by people who are searching for me through Google. And Google is the #1 search engine I mentioned. YouTube is #2 because we're learning how to do things. And I do see a couple in the chat. Thanks. I'll be there in a minute. So if you need to get here to manage your business, just search for your business name at google.com and it should come up here. If you have one of these little cards on the right, but you didn't know it, I'll show you how to get a hold of that one too. You can claim them. All right, that first big button up here, edit profile, looks like a little house, a little storefront. That's the icon for the whole Google Business Profile thing. So if you're up here in these 9 buttons on the top right next to your profile login, that's what that's going to look like. All right, and it contains all the important details, business name, category. Again, it can get close. You'll have a chance to add some other stuff to offset it. Description, you're going to get like 1,000 characters here. Do not put 2 sentences and move on. Go to your website, copy your about information. Make sure it has the names of the things that you do. Replace or upgrade panel, repair panel, install electric car charger, renovation, code violations. These are known as keywords, and these are the words that people will find your Google Business Profile for, and then they will look at you and say, I'm interested in doing business, and they'll call you or they'll click you or wherever. You may add an opening date even if you are not open. And that's kind of a cool thing that I learned somewhere along the line. Again, if you want your phone number to show, and I guess if you're in business, you probably do, add that. Make sure you add hours, add something, even if it's open 24/7. Although I caution you against that because Google doesn't like e-commerce, strictly e-commerce businesses. They want you to have a foot on the ground somewhere, even if it's like doing local outreach, donating your product at nursing homes. Somehow they want a foot on the ground. And so that's why if you have hours as always open, they might kind of raise a flag. So set your regular business hours. Here's that attributes part. These are new. These started rolling out around end of 2021, I want to say, after COVID. And we got very, very specific in our searches. So if you identify as any of these groups, of any of these different business attributes or business personal and cultural attributes, then certainly do join up. Click these buttons, say, yes, I am, and that will help in your search results too. Pointy, when you have products, remember I showed you there are services and there are products. When you have products, you will integrate it with a program called Pointy. So it's a free Google tool that allows you to add your products. You can see a little picture of it right over here on how to get started shopping in store. And I think you can even select to have it go through a Pointy checkout and sell things right through your Google Business Profile. That's a whole nother workshop, but I have one if you need it. Adding photos. Okay, I like to go back to these so you can see what they look like here. This says add photo. That's it right there. So we're going to go there and we have choices. We have our photos, which are things that we've shot around our business, in and around activities, our family, our hikes, whatever it is. We have a place for our logo, which it takes a few tries to make it fit in the box. But if you use Canva and your logo gets cropped off in one of these little profile picture things, put your image in Canva, create a larger white background around it, and then put it back into those profile pictures, and you'll have the whole logo showing. And then cover photo, that's a picture of your storefront. If you have a storefront, you want people to recognize it as they go by or as they arrive. So tips for great photos. I mean, I think anything goes nowadays except stock photos. Stock photos are boring, and we're all using the same 50 that pop up at the top of the Canva or Shutterstock list. So just go shoot your own pictures. Don't worry about it. If you have a cell phone, you have a camera. And even for video, it is not polished, finite, beautiful, well-lighted video. It's, hey, I just got off the street working on this job and I smell bad, but boy, does this trash bin look good. You know, kinds of a lot of fun. It's two-way communication here as well. Or you can send people to your YouTube channel to watch your video. All right, here's the create post. Remember it said add update? This means post like on Facebook. They should just call it post like on Facebook, except for the idea that there's a button. It says optional. It's really not. This is the payoff for the Google Business Profile. You can automatically click call now, add your phone number. It puts it in there automatically. Or you could say buy more, learn more, buy more, buy online, learn more, read more. There's 5 or 6 of these calls to action, meaning what do you want me to do? What does it say in this ad that you want me to do? Call today for a free estimate. So it'd be silly if I didn't put a phone number there, right? Because I'm asking you to do something. 1 image is plenty. If you get 2 or 3, you may find out that they all turn out to be the exact same photo when they publish. I don't know why. This is the edit tool in the bottom left corner of this image. You always want to check that because Google can edit your image if it's not perfectly sized and you may show up some way that you don't intend. All right, what do we put on Google Business Profiles? Add update. Well, updates, offers, or events. So when we are talking about heat wave over here by Detroit Voltage, we're looking at an excessive heat warning. And then we are linking our 5 tips to stay cool and conserve energy down here at the bottom of this heat builds. I'm going to guess this is going to my blog page because I'm giving people content to get them to my website. Now, if they read this and they go 5 tips to stay cool, conserve energy, and one of those tips is have your voltage checked out, they might take that call to action and call us. But this update is going to be designed to get them to either call me now, see the call button here, or I might have, and you can see right here, sign up on the 3rd one, or I might have view offer. See that on the 2nd one. This is free shipping, and this is an actual event that you can sign up for. I use Constant Contact because I'm a partner to schedule out my events. And then I just put the link to get to Constant Contact on here. So it's just like a triple exposure. So Constant Contact, Facebook event, because you gotta. And then this is freebies. It's just to add to this. How are we doing on time? 3:27. And it looks like my power is on if there's motion at my Ring doorbell. All right, so how are we going to connect with customers? So we've shown you how to push things out there. We've got the hours and the locations and services and all the things that you want people to know about you. But now how do we get a relationship going? And I view this platform as a social media platform. I really do. Let's say that you get a review. Oh, I had a client recently that she has nothing but glowing 5-star reviews. And then bam, a 2-star. An angry lady who felt cloistered by the closeness of the hosts. And they were at least a 15-minute drive from anything, you know, the type, right? And she was devastated. She was devastated. It's easy to respond to the positive ones. Make sure you call them by name, repeat the service or the product they got, thank them, ask them to come shop again. Hey, Sherry, thanks for the great 5-star review of Hannah Gold Communications, because somebody's searching review Hannah Gold Communications will see that. All right. We're glad you enjoyed the whatever I did for you, and we hope you'll come back soon. So the bad one's not so easy. So we tiptoed around that for a little bit, and we came up with a response that said something like, thank you for your feedback. We love our rolling acres and are known for our ponds and flora and fauna. I don't know, something like that. We're pretty sure that if you drive around South Haven proper, you'll be able to see some for rent signs and find a place for your next stay that's more suitable. And we posted it. And you know, you can't apologize because it maybe didn't even happen. We don't know these people. We have no record of anyone. Of course, they only use their initials. But we don't have any record of them. But we can't say, well, look, we didn't even see you stay here. Instead, you know, you can say, wow, that doesn't sound like the typical customer experience. Here's the number for our general store manager. Why don't you give us a call and let us see, you know, what's up. Because then it's back in their court. You're diffusing the situation. You're not apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. It probably didn't, evidenced by this case study. Messages are also fun. If you're not going to look at this thing all the time, though, don't turn them on. So if you're going to look at it, then turn them on. It's a great way, again, to get two-way conversations going. And then Q&A, ask all your friends to go search your business on Google, find your business. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, I think you can see right here, it says questions and answers. That is open real estate. You have 10 people ask you 10 different questions about your services or your products, naming them, of course, which then gets you a bit further in the search words. And then you can go in and answer them with additional search words. Responding to reviews. Yes, you can verify. I like to use their name. And I like to mention 5-star review for Detroit Voltage. I think you heard that. And again, if they've got an issue, it may or may not have really happened. Don't jump to the, everyone's going to hate me. There is, however, and I tried, no way to get the Google to remove these reviews unless, case in point, the Michelin Restaurant, 5-star Michelin Restaurant Association was taken hostage by some spammers who said, we have published a bunch of 1-star reviews on your restaurant pages, and if you don't give us $30 billion, we're going to leave them. Because you can take them out yourself. I can remove something that I've posted. And the restaurant consortium called Google, and Google said, we don't take down reviews. We don't take down reviews. We don't take down reviews. And they brought a lawsuit, and they were finally, kind of like Apple opening your phone for police, they were finally able to get Google to remove the reviews. So Google went to each of the 5-star Michelin restaurant and removed the reviews, all of the reviews, every last one. So be careful what you ask for. And I did ask for in this most recent case, but unless there's defamation of character or, you know, truly false stuff or libel or slander, don't even bother. The only way to get past it is to go ask people for more positive Google reviews, hence the next page. And it says get more reviews on the little icon on our dashboard with all the tools. You can share this link. You can push it out to Facebook. Now, I'm not a big fan of just throwing it up on Facebook and going, hey, give us a review, because the majority of those people have never done business with me. So I'm much more of the email or putting it in the footer of my invoicing, getting it in my regular email marketing that I send out to y'all. I probably should do that. I haven't done that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's where I would share that, ask for reviews. And then remember, these are like gold because people are going to search reviews. This is messaging. It looks like any other messaging platform. If you are not able to respond within 24 hours or sooner, I have clients who say in home healthcare, we'll respond within 2 hours. If you can do that, then go ahead and use that. Otherwise, maybe roll into that a little bit later. This is your data analytics. And I have a really fun story about a local small business in the South Haven, Michigan region. They are a Michigan wine, spirits, and foods tasting room. So you can go there, they have entertainment, you can buy packaged foods, they have their own custom cocktails. Anyway, so again, really, really liked Yelp. And I said, well, what about your Google business? So they were on one of these webinars and they called and they said, well, let's see what you got. So we got in, we filled in all those blanks that you've just seen with all the gray words that we needed. We got verified. I think it was already verified. And then at the very end, I go, well, let's look at your interactions, okay? And I mean, this is a place that you're going to drive past the very first time you try to find it. It's not a big place. And we opened it up, and in the last 30 days, and this was in, I think, August or September, they had over 900 business profile interactions. Now, keep in mind, 7339, this is an electric company from November of 22 through April of 23. They didn't get all of those in 1 month, but you can see the breakdown: menu, food orders, calls, messages, bookings, directions, website clicks. Well, this must be a restaurant because it has food orders, but you can break down all of those numbers. I really like that. And then there's the 3 dots on the side. There's always 3 dots with Google. And these are the places where you'll need to go if you have to change ownership or add admin folks. So a lot of people add me, my clients will add me on as an admin, and then I have access without logging in them. Set up your notifications. If you're getting messages, do that. Add a new profile. Let's say you have a restaurant with 2 locations, you could do that. You can see the ones you manage. Help and support. There really is help on the other end, for sure. So what do you have left to do? Well, claim or complete your profile, verify your profile. And while you're waiting, you can be adding stuff to it. Once it is created, remember, not necessarily verified, you can be adding business info, videos, etc. You just can't share yet until it has been verified. And it shouldn't, like I said, take more than 5 or 7 days at the most. So now I'm going to stop share and come back to my group. I'm so excited to see you guys. And I see questions in the search here. I have a really important question no one's been able to answer. We're formed in Florida and have that address on our annual report. We have our main office in another state and use our home address. I don't want our home address on Google when the address we have in Florida. What options? Well, home address, we would hide it and use location services. So back at that part where you're verifying and you have to put your home address in, if your business address is different from your home address, you have to use your business address. This is a business profile. So if that business is in Florida and you live in Michigan, right now, that probably doesn't matter. As long as you have a business email that you can receive confirmations at, and you still legitimately have an LLC or a DBA or an S Corp or something in that business name. Does that answer your question, A-Team Interpreting? Antoinette. You can unmute. Let's see there. I will ask to unmute you.
Hi. Yes, thank you. And you can't use a personal mailbox either, right?
No, you got to have a physical location. If it's not a store, then it's got to be a home office and you have to prove that to them. Exactly.
Okay, so in this case, I would use my address in Florida and then hide it and use location services.
Yes, I believe
Okay,
that would
thank you.
work the best. You're right. All right. All right. Who else has a question? Jeanne, come on.
Are you?
Okay.
What
Clinton,
you-
hi, Clinton.
Hi, if you list, what is the extent of the videos you can put on profile? Is there any time limit or quantity limit?
Really good question. I don't know exactly, but I know they have the 360 video, which people are using in store. I always thought it would be for out store where you could just show people where you were. And then I know Google Ads allows videos to be uploaded. I believe that they're just like photos and you would put them in the photos box, but I don't know the capacity or the limits actually off the top of my head. I just do it.
Is that a new feature, video, as opposed to been there a while?
I think it says add photo or video. I have my page pulled up so we can look at questions like this. Just 1 second.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it helps to see it live sometimes. Let's go see.
And I have a follow-up question, if you don't mind.
All right, let me screen share this and see if we can figure out what we are looking for. All right, what did you ask me?
Video?
Videos. So I would go photos. I don't see a video. They just told
Oh,
us to do
There
video.
was one back there. It said photo or video, the last page.
All
on the
right,
screen.
after I went past it.
Yeah, right at the bottom.
That's what it says. Yep, there it is. I should know I've done that. Yeah, and then you can just go get your whatever MP player it is and upload
Well,
it there. And I would
uh,
just do a Google search to see what the capacity is.
my other question is, I'm really active on LinkedIn. And
Ooh,
I'm getting like, I teach entrepreneurship in sort of retirement. So I'm getting like 120 profile hits a day on LinkedIn, but I really want them to go over to Google because all the stuff about my materials there. How do I link the two? Do I just put a link on my profile to Google?
you have a website?
I do.
You want them to go to your website. Sending them to Google is like sending them back to the car to get directions after they've arrived at your business.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
think of
you.
Google search. It's Google search and maps. They're getting to find you, and then you're saying, call me, drive over to my store, go to my website. You don't want to send them back to Google.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Who else has one? Jan?
Well, yeah, my problem is a client that wants their website more visible. So I'm having to brush up on ways to do that.
Okay.
And I'm thinking she may have to spring for a security certificate.
No SS, no HTTPS?
Nope,
She's never getting in the Google sandbox. She can't
that's
even play
exactly
on
what
the
I was
slide.
afraid of.
Yeah, she
Yep.
can't even go down the slide. They
Okay,
will not. That is a big, big one. And it's 5, 10, 15 bucks a year.
really?
Yeah, for a certificate.
Okay, I need
I
to
don't,
know
I don't
where.
think it's a
'cause-
whole lot. Well, I'll go to like name.com or GoDaddy.
Yeah,
I buy the URL for $11.99, $12.99,
right.
2 million sometimes, but and then it says
Yeah.
add this for $4.99, add this for $9.99. It's right there. It's not really expensive as I recall. So the other way then is to make sure that what kind of an industry is she in, Jan?
Dog training.
And does her website have 72 combinations of the words dog training on it?
I haven't looked for a while.
Okay,
So
so,
I'm taking advantage of this as I'm
Okay,
approaching
yeah.
it. So,
well, remember we've been talking about keywords and
Yeah.
keywords, it's like Jenga. Keywords are the words and phrases, so it's a fake name. Keywords are
Mhm.
the words and phrases that someone's typing in a Google search bar, or we also said Google Maps,
right.
to find goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
So if they type dog walker in the search bar and it says dog walker on the top of her website, either the first
Mhm.
header, the second header, or the first paragraph, she has a 1 in 3 million chance of showing up. However, if her website says dog walker Kalamazoo, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and someone types dog walker Kalamazoo, Michigan, or dog walker near me, and they have their GPS
Yeah.
turned on, their location services, as most people,
Yeah.
then she'll show up.
Okay.
But if she doesn't have that, that's known as localization. So the first part of it is SEO. SEO keywords, key phrases, they're kind of all the same thing. It's like, I don't know, SEOagram. You just have to guess what people are going to be typing in that search bar and make sure you've got it in your website first, in your Google business profile second, and in your about sections and anywhere else you can get it on other platforms. But she needs to be creative about what other humans would type in if they were
Yep.
looking for dog care. And she needs to start tagging hashtag pet parents, hashtag Kalamazoo dogs. She needs to join all the local lost and found pet groups that she can. Lots of fun things you can
Oh,
do.
great ideas. This is good. This is really good. So this is what's not funny though, is my hosting guy is
Mhm.
trying to tell me $300 a year for security.
Well, yeah, he's got to make a markup. He's got to manage it. Yeah, no, you can buy the SSL certificate and then just say, hey, it's ready. You can just go to her domain holder and buy the SSL and it just gets turned on and they can plug it in.
Okay,
Who else?
good to
Thanks,
know.
Jan. Good to see you. Barbara, was that a hand?
Yes.
Barbara's in the garden today. I love it. I should have been on the back porch. I was gonna be on the back porch, but storm. So what can I do for you?
Yes, I have a service business that would be nationwide. How do you go about the near me search whenever they're looking for that and you aren't a local, like I have a home-based business that is basically just over the internet.
Sure. If you don't service customers at your location in some way, shape, or form, Google does not want you to have a Google business profile. It was designed as a local business tool. Now, if you can say, I have product in my garage and once a year I have a sale where people come to my garage and buy my product, then you can get away with it. But the other side of that is just going to be the keywords. It's going to be getting the words and phrases into the Google business profile that you need to be found for. What was the other part of your question?
That was it about how to get that near me kind of feature on there. But if it's nationwide, then there's no way to say near me.
Not
and
yet.
it's only a service. It's not at all any kind of product or any kind of
Okay.
I guess storefront kind of thing.
Okay. Do you have any do clients don't visit your office, your home office?
Correct. I do everything over Dropbox or email.
Well, that's how I do it too. So you're probably good. You really are. I mean, do you have a LLC or a DBA or?
I do have a DBA, but I do not. I'm just sole proprietor because I only work by myself or independent contractors.
Okay, I get it. Not 1099. Yeah, I think you'll be okay. And I think if you set nationwide, Barbara, do you have key regions where your products or services are popular? Like, is it the East Coast bunch or is it primarily the elderly in Florida or where's
No,
your
it's for general transcription services. So it would be based upon what kind of market you had, whether you were podcast or if you were like for sermons or if you did lectures or anything like that, then that would be transcribed. Anything but medical or legal transcription.
I would try it. I would try it as a professional service. And I would also, just as a side note, I would also be really active on LinkedIn, looking for people who would be what I call the buying decision makers. Who is going to be the person to call you or search for you on a website when they need you? Probably not the actual provider or the actual attorney. It's going to be their staff. And if you can identify who those folks are, and connect with them with a soft, hey, how are you? I see we have friends in common on LinkedIn. Then my goal for a business like yours is you got to remind them. So we would always put them into an email marketing funnel and they would get an email like you guys got from me at least once a month saying, here's what we're up to. Here's a client success story. And here's how you can hire me now. And I just start migrating those folks over as I start to need new clients, I can reach out to more that way.
Right. I do have a LinkedIn profile and I'm trying to get it to where I'm having more interactions on there and providing I guess newsletters or advertisements on there and
Really
trying to
good.
build that.
Really good idea. And see if you can identify those folks enough to where you can get them into your own email marketing platform, because then instead of going Nike red pickleball shoes size 10, they'll be like, oh, Barbara, and they'll be able to go right to you. So,
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I see. Oh, Rita says $20 on GoDaddy for the SSL. Thanks, Rita. Good to see you too. What do you do if you have 2 locations in 2 states? EJ, are you still here? There you are. You have 2 locations of the same business?
I am here. Thank you.
Hi, 2 locations
Hannah.
of the same business or?
Well, you know what? I'm online. So I did hear what you said about, putting and I have an LLC formed. I have an address that I formed the company with.
Mhm.
One was formed for my, the main LLC, which was in Florida. And then I I have a separate address in New York. Both, that is a separate mail address because I'm licensed in 2 states.
Okay.
Right, I have licensure. So, but all my work is strictly online.
Mhm.
I did hear what you said about the one address of forming the LLC.
Mhm.
Is there a way to get found in both states? Like, how would is that even possible?
I would just do 2 profiles.
Ah,
Use
okay, and
the
I can
same-
do that with the
You
same
can.
company?
Yes, you can. You can
Oh.
service any area from any address. So using either that, or you'll see, remember those 3 dots it showed us toward the end with the 3 little dots down, it says add a business. Either
Yes.
that, or I think you could maybe add it as a branch location. I'm not exactly positive which one of those would be best, but try those couple options.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right.
Andrea, can't find the hand. I can't either most of the time. Are you still here?
I'm still here. I usually can find it. I'm not sure what's going on today, but anyway, I'm a home-based business as well. Everything is online. And I'm having a website built currently. Should I wait until the website is finished to do the Google profile, or just start it? Because I don't have anywhere to lead people to right now.
Yeah, how long till the website's ready?
Not much longer, maybe a couple weeks.
You could start on the profile, just wait to do verification until you put your email or your website in. So
Okay.
you'll be able to skip around in there pretty significantly, I think, because you have your business name and address, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, you can just hit skip, 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 and then come back and edit that when you get it. I think I would wait to ask Google's permission until I had a secure website.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
Okay,
it
thank
doesn't
you.
have to be, I mean, the minute your web designer says it's being indexed, that means Google's going through all the pages.
Okay.
Then you've got, I don't know, like 2 weeks before it's really solidified, but you can start telling people about it anytime after that, and you get it on the Google page then. And
Okay.
get notified. Mhm.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Who else? Guys, this is fun. I want to do this again. What else should we talk about? Anything on Google? Anything else on Google? Oh, I've been posting, Rita, update 2 to 4 times on my Google store. Is there a way to tell if anyone sees them? Yes, we have those data analytics. This is the performances page right here. It will tell you what happened on this Google profile only. So when you click in here, it's going to show you, this is all time 9 for 2024. Again, online business calls, messages, bookings, and website clicks. So if you have a post like these, an update, remember an update is just a fancy word for a post, then you can go back and you can see what was posted, but they don't give you a ton of, who engaged with your posts or really much like that. You would get that hopefully from your website. But that's a little thing there. Any more questions? We got 6 more minutes. Let's see, is there any other sneaky things? Name, address, phone, identical across every platform. Get verified. It might be hard. You might have to ask for help with video, but if you can do a postcard, do that. Make sure you have an HTTPS on your website. Make sure that when you're posting an update on Google, if it's about a product or service, that it takes folks to that product or service page, not just to the random page somewhere. And then they gave me a few little resources that I'll share with you now, and then we'll be done. So we do have a YouTube channel. It's called youtube.com Grow with Google. And if it says Grow with Google, you'll know that it's one of us presenting it and it's legit. There's also Google career certificates. If anyone here wants to get a new career in user interface, project management, cybersecurity, or any of these, let me know. Our South Haven Region Business Hub is a partner for Google career certificates. And this is how you can get in touch with me if you'd like. And on my website, sherrybales.com or hannahgoldcommunications.com, you can take the free 14-day marketing challenge. It's not really a challenge. It's just 14 days of marketing resources. There's videos, there's stories, case studies, some templates that you can download. And again, that's available on my website. And I thank you for being a part of our Grow with Google today.